unless he's making a certain amount, or unless he's able to provide for himself and is making money. Well, newsflash, baby, I'm high maintenance because I'm the one that's maintaining it. It's me. So how can I come and live the life that I'm living and I'm enjoying it to come and be suffering with you? Does it make sense? Why would I come from up here to come down here to meet you at your level? Thunder fire every idiot that wants me to do.
Hello, guys. It is Lexus Exodus, leader of the Black Women Exodus. How are you guys doing? Like always, if you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe. Please share. I get so happy when I see you guys engaging in dialogue and conversing in the comment section and in the chat. You guys are always so lit. Shout out to my moderators who always hold it down for me in the chat. Shout out to my exes. I really appreciate you guys. Thanks again for tuning in. Again, this is another installment of my daily series called the Blackistan Zoo, where we profile the animals, creatures, and derelicts found in Blackistan. And this premieres daily, Monday through Friday at 6:30 ET. And like I always say, we'll continue to do this daily, and then at the end of April, in a few weeks, we'll level set and just make sure that the engagement and the responses that you guys give me and the feedback aligns with the level of effort of these videos. Let's get into it. Today is a doozy, y'all. Oh my gosh. Okay, so today we are going to highlight the angry orangutan. So his profile, his appearance, he is big, very ugly, very monstrous, very scary. His habitat, you can find him in your local corner store, at the liquor store. He might ask you if, you want him to buy your wine for him, and we'll try to hit on you, and we'll go ape shit if you decline. You'll also find him oftentimes at the club, and this creature likes to hang out on the corner, not really doing much, just being menaces to society. So their behavior, so these orangutans are characterized by being very aggressive and very violent. And the interesting thing is they don't have any smoke for Brad. These apes don't have any smoke for Brad or one another, but they have all the smoke in the world, and they save all that energy for defenseless women. And they are very dangerous because if you decline their advances and, tell them, like I indicated, no, I can buy my own purchase. I can purchase my own wine. They'll beat you up and try to bite your eye out. They'll hit you with a skateboard if you decline their advances. And now we know that they will also attempt to shoot you as well if you decline them coming onto you. So these animals are very dangerous, very volatile, very nefarious. Things will oftentimes get deadly during encounters with them, and they'll hurt you. So it is very, very important to use discernment when you're around these animals. We also, I think that brings up a good point. We have to be very careful when discussing divesting, because Black women are in abusive relationships here within the community. And studies show that the most dangerous time for women in domestic violence situations is when they actually try to leave. Because that's when you'll start to hear stories about, murder-suicides that apes will commit, women getting acid thrown in their face. I've heard stories about women being set on fire by these orangutans. I've even heard stories about, these apes killing children, their own children. And that's because when we try to leave, or if they feel rejected, or if they feel, if they feel dejected or rejected, things will turn deadly very, very quickly. So I know, the knee-jerk response when you're divesting is to be like, aha, and to be very ostentatious with your decision to divest, because that's what's happened on the opposite end. We have, apes will divest and will try to rub it in our face, and will try to, compare us to Becky and be very vocal about, why they chose women of other races. So I know that's a knee-jerk response for us to want to do the same and to try to one-up them. them because they've been doing it for so long. But really, honestly, what we need to do just to be the safest is we need to quietly divest. So just walk away quietly, and then just randomly show up with your man, with Brad, one day at the cookout. And that's what I did. I mean, a lot of my relatives had no idea I was dating anyone. I didn't introduce him to any of my family members until we're engaged. And here they're like, what? Where the hell he come from? But it was because I was quietly divesting, quietly exploring my options. And then once he put a ring on it, that's when I said something. But yeah, you want to be very careful, very strategic about making those decisions, because, these animals are very jealous. They're very unstable and very volatile. And as soon as you tell them that it's over, they go apeshit like apes do. So let's review this first instance of an orangutan in its natural habitat and examine his natural behavior. So this first one is a clip that's gone viral recently of an orangutan going crazy and assaulting a woman at a fast food restaurant. So let's watch this in the one pack.
What's taking so long? Come on. Hurry, shut up. Oh, wait a minute, sir. I'm going to ask you to step outside. I'm asking you to step outside. Nah, you going to fix this shit first. I'm going to ask you to step outside. I'm going to fix myself first. Excuse me. So I'm going to have to put hands on this bitch. Oh, oh my. Come on. Come on. Come on. Don't run. Y'all ain't gonna fix my shit. Y'all ain't gonna fix my shit, alright? Fuck y'all niggas. I'll get mine. Pussy ass bitch. How hard at it? Fuck ass hoe. What's taking so long? Come on.
Now, did y'all see that ridiculousness? So this fat pot-bellied ass, receding hairline ass, sloppy, ugly, hideous, monstrous orangutan literally got upset with her, got livid over a fucking cheeseburger at Hardee's, and chased this woman around the restaurant, threatening to put his hands on her. But this is the typical demeanor that you'll get from these orangutans and these apes. They're very volatile. They'll turn hostile over the most minor, trivial things. And this is why when I'm out and about, and I recommend you guys to do this as well, just limit your interaction with these fools. So I'm so careful. I'll keep earbuds in my ears and don't give them eye contact. I'll be in my own little world. I would recommend that you be aware of your surroundings, but just be quiet and keep to yourself. And I remember this made me recollect one time I talked about before in another video about one time when I was still in Blackistan, going to Miami during Urban Beach weekend. And I was so naive. I had no idea I was walking into. And I remember we were going out to eat or going somewhere with my cousins. And I remember there were these other guys that were coming inside the door. So they were trying to enter in the hotel that we were leaving outside of. And so, I stepped out of the way so they could go ahead and walk through the door and just patiently waited. And this ape randomly yelled, "I didn't touch you, bitch!" Just like that. Just like that. I mean, hollered at the top of his lungs. And I just remember just being so confused, because it was totally unwarranted. I was very polite. All I did was step out the way so he could come in. And when he passed by me, that's what he screamed, like a little bitch. And, I keep pepper spray and I keep brass knuckles, and I also have a license to carry. But thankfully, it didn't escalate to that because, these niggers, they're very, very dangerous. And they'll look for reasons to beat up women. I honestly think a lot of them get off on that. They're sadists and they get off on harming and hindering other people, especially women. So I didn't let it escalate to that. I just kept going about my business because it can escalate very quickly. And you don't want to argue with these fools because they can be very, very dangerous, very volatile, and sometimes it can often end in a deadly situation. So, I just didn't engage in them, and I would encourage you to when you're out and about. Do not even bother. Don't argue with these fools. They don't use logic. and things can quickly get physical, and you don't want to be in a situation where you're trying to defend yourself with a big ass orangutan. So here's another instance of one of these animals in their natural habitat and their demeanor. So this is something that I came across while scrolling through my timeline of a road rage incident where orangutan attacked a defenseless older woman. So let's watch this. So, yeah. Did y'all see that sick shit? Did y'all see that? So, this disgusting ass 8 motherfucker orangutan ass monster followed this woman for miles. Cornered her when she pulled over and went to a gas station, followed her off the freeway and followed her to an Exxon gas station. She got out the car, probably to tell him, please stop following me, leave me alone. And he punched her cold in the face like a nigga and knocked her the fuck out. He knocked her out of her shoes. Ain't y'all tired of this stuff, black women? Ain't y'all tired of being these orangutans punching bags? And this is why I don't listen to nakers who say, not all of us, not all. That's all they want to talk about. But here's my thing. Guess who was probably passively behind the camera recording, watching this shit happen? An ape. And he did nothing but record. Y'all should really be ashamed of y'allself. Because y'all don't hold other nakers accountable. All y'all do is passively sit back and watch this shit happen instead of checking this fool. And, you know, I feel like it's just like, you know, y'all try to, y'all get upset when they say not all cops do this, not all cops do that. How come y'all can understand the concept of even if it's just 1 cop or 2 cop or 3 cops that are bad, that it gives all them a bad name. But when it comes to these apes, when it comes to these nakers, y'all don't understand that shit. And my thing is, y'all even more guilty for being complacent and letting that shit, passively watching that shit happen. This is sickening. So I also had, as if that wasn't enough, y'all, this shit comes in faster than I can keep up with it and create videos. These stories keep coming in. And so it's like, Tyrone, if you don't like my videos, stop giving me all this content, all these videos, all these clips, all these news stories of y'all being on this bullshit. So several of my followers also sent me a news story about a woman who had gotten shot in Atlanta for declining an orangutan's advances. I know that one of them wanted to stay anonymous, so I'll call them both M and then the other S. Thank you so much for sharing this stuff with me. Again, if you guys have ideas for news stories and content, feel free to email me at lexisexoduschannel@gmail.com. Thank you so much, guys, for sharing this with me because I wouldn't have been privy to it if you hadn't. So let's watch this news story.
New tonight, a romantic date turning violent. Shots fired at a couple riding scooters in Atlanta. CBS 46's Barmel Lyons spoke to witnesses who saw it all happen.
What
It was supposed to be a romantic getaway for a young couple. Getting ice cream, riding scooters through the city takes a violent, almost deadly turn.
I was asleep. It was so early. I just heard like 5 shots.
A woman shot in broad daylight.
Like I didn't want to peek my head through the window, and then they still shooting.
A couple riding scooters down Northside Drive attacked after telling a man driving by to stop catcalling at victim Miera Mansoure. Boyfriend Joanne Davis stepping in, asking the man to leave them alone.
They went down this street in order to try to divert and get away from him. And then that's when the bullets start flying.
One of the bullets hitting Mansoure in her shin, shattering her tibia.
Just off in the distance, I see someone go down.
Samuel Savage, an eyewitness, took off running when he saw Mansoure fall to the ground.
It was really heartbreaking. She was screaming, she was crying, and she kept grabbing her phone, trying to call her mom.
The fire department working to stop the bleeding until EMS got to the scene. People we talked to believing violence is never the answer and rejection is not an excuse.
It's definitely a cowardly act to, try and shoot somebody that just because they don't want to talk to you.
According to the victim's mother, she's looking at least 6 weeks of recovery until rehab therapy and will have a permanent rod in her leg. In Atlanta, I'm Barbara Lyons, CBS 46 News.
This don't make no motherfucking sense. This don't make no goddamn sense. And I know y'all apes are listening and are watching. Are y'all embarrassed yet? Really? Are y'all embarrassed? Do y'all not have no shame? Because this is how I feel, y'all. I feel like niggers are some of the most delusional. They'll deflect, they'll deny. But they don't know how to be receptive to feedback and direction. Because for years, y'all been preaching to black women about how we have to choose better, we need to do better. Oh, you need to stop having, these children, stop becoming baby mothers, focus on your education, focus on being independent, focus on your bag. And what happened? We did that shit. It hurt. It was painful, but we were receptive. We understood. You know what? Okay. This is criticism. It don't feel good, but let me use this to grow. And guess what happened? We became the most educated groups of people in the country. We started opening businesses at an exponential rate. Now, tons of us are entrepreneurs. We are the movers and shakers. We're the movers and shakers. We're divesting too, and we're discussing making better choices. We're discussing choosing better partners. When will y'all practice some accountability? When will y'all do the same? At what point do you hear the same shit from all sides because you're getting called super predators by the white community? Asian people, they pissed off because y'all motherfuckers is killing and assaulting and victimizing and brutally attacking their elderly communities. So everybody is telling you, now black women are telling you, hey, get your shit together. At what point do you reflect, take a sober look in the mirror, and really just focus on being receptive to that information and use it to improve yourself? Instead of getting angry and frustrated, instead of denying, instead of not wanting to take responsibility or ownership, but it's like, what the hell? Who are the mentors? Who are the mentors? Who are the authority figures within the community? Because these fools is some of y'all's brothers. This is y'all's sons. These are y'all's nephews. So where are the grandfathers and the fathers and the uncles and the OGs to step in and provide some mentorship and some guidance? Seriously. Because y'all dropping the ball. And y'all not showing these men how to be men. This shit done pissed me off. This is sickening. The poor woman was with her boyfriend, so she wasn't even out there alone. So she clearly was already taken. Told the fool, hey, actually, no, I'm in a relationship. My boyfriend's right here, and got shot. The nigger shot her. And now they talking about she gonna have to have a rod in her leg for the rest of her life. This don't make no motherfucking sense. This don't make no fucking sense. Y'all should really be ashamed of yourself. It's time to take a really, really calm, sobering look in the mirror. And I'm telling you, black women, if you listening to me, you gonna die. Don't hold your breath waiting for these motherfuckers to get their shit together, because you gonna die before that happen. Got me so damn angry. Y'all, you know what? Listen, Like I always say, if this doesn't illustrate why it's so important for you to divest and for you to run far and fast away. Run for your life, because your life depends on it. Like Miss Archduchess say, divest or die. That's all I got. Until next time. See you guys.
If y'all come across a red iPhone, can you please bring it to the sound stage? Red iPhone, appreciate it.